What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions that people still have about plant-based eating?
Um, yeah, they have several. Of course, there's the old one where they worry if they're going to get enough protein, which is just silly. I wish they would just look at people like you and me and say, they look fine. They're not falling down. There's not one person in America today. What do we have? 350 million people. There's not one
Right.
person in a hospital in America today for lack of protein. It's just not a problem. It's a manufactured fear. If you eat enough food, as long as it isn't all, lollipops or something, you're going to get protein. And if you're concerned about it, then eat more lentils and beans and tofu and tempeh. But the idea that you should have anything to worry about with protein is silly. And vegetables are very high in protein, and mushrooms are high in protein. And if you're really worried about it, and you shouldn't, I suppose you could get some of these plant-based protein powders, but I never do, and I don't worry about it. So that's not a good reason not to go vegan. And in fact, animal protein is inferior to plant protein because animal protein is high in the amino acid methionine. And methionine is definitively linked to cancer. So you don't want to have a lot of animal protein. In fact, you don't want to have any animal protein. So plant protein is superior protein, and it's also superior because it's not excessive. Because what can you do with excessive protein? You just pee it out. The body doesn't store protein. So why would you want to have twice as much protein as you need? You're just straining your kidneys. Why stress your kidneys? So, um, so there's no point in excessive protein, and animal protein is inferior, plant protein is superior. So get your protein from plants, which are the organisms that create the protein in the first place.